This will be another simple demonstration of what I do with Google Drive. Um, I selected this resource again because this is something that I use in my classroom just about every day. Um, Students use Google Drive to type up the final drafts of their essays, and they also use Google Drive to answer more in-depth questions on their reading assignments. Um, my objective in using Google Drive is to motivate students to answer questions on a more individual level or according to individual ability. Um, so my audience for this particular demonstration would be my students in creating a document from their Google Drive, which they're used to getting in and out of. The two ITE standards are somewhat similar. Um, they're both from the teacher's set of standards. The first one is 2C, and that's customized and personalized learning activities to address students' diverse learning styles using digital tools and resources. And the other one is number 4B, and it's similar. It says address the diverse needs of all learners by using learner-centered strategies, providing equitable access to appropriate digital tools and resources. And I feel like this particular um, technology allows me to do both of those things by answering um, student work based on their ability to answer the question. And I'll sort of demonstrate how I do that. The first thing that they would do is to just click create, and then they would click document here, and then that would bring up a new untitled document. I have them click on untitled document, and for this particular assignment I'm going to call it journal prompts because they're going to be answering questions based on the reading in Fahrenheit 451. I would have them go to their email because I also use email. As you can see here, I have classes set up. It's a really easy thing to do, and all my students are on those lists. And so I have them copy what's on the email itself, and they go back to their document and they paste it. What you should know is that you have to use Control C to copy and Control V to paste, unless you want to download a separate app to use right click, copy and paste. For some reason Google Docs is kind of picky about that. And so once students have the journal prompt questions copied on their document, have them just create some spaces in between the questions. They type their answer here. And I also have a word count for each question. Generally that's 80 words. And then once they answer those questions and I see that they've answered them, I can type up comments on the side. And like I said, this is great because students aren't answering these out loud, and that allows them to, I think, feel more free to say the things that they need to say here. And a lot of times they'll ask further questions on the document itself, especially when they don't want to ask the question in front of their peers, even to the point of not wanting to come up to my desk and ask me that question. And so they can type their questions and their answers here. If they need to continue to answer the question because it's unclear, I can tell them here. And I can comment, and so I do that, and then it takes a little while, but I train them to go back into their document an update, read my comments. Sometimes I tell them they need to add more on the document itself, or I can tell them that they can just simply reply to my comment underneath. Um, and either one really works for me, and like I said, it creates a living document. It's all stamped by time, and I like it a lot. It really makes students think about what they're going to type, and once I set the expectation that they have to answer my comments and they know that I'm in their document even when they are typing it, um, then that causes them to do their best work. The last step, and actually I have them do this first before they answer any of the questions, they click that blue share button, and it'll prompt them to type in my email address. It's important that they select either can edit or can comment. I like the can edit option because then I can type on their actual document if I need to. They type that in there, they click done, and then I can see exactly what they're doing when I click on shared with me. Um, their document will show up here, and it also shows me when they've completed it, and that way I know when to comment back to them. So that's the way that I use Google Documents in my classroom, and that's just a step-by-step process that I take my students through when they get started.